Hi everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a layout using the new Retro Summer collection by Simple Stories. It's a great fun, very retro summer collection. It's really good fun actually, I love it. Now unfortunately I forgot to turn on the camera the first part, so I'd already got this far without showing you anything. I'm sorry about that. But what I've done is I've taken that swimming pool paper and I have cut it apart along some of the lines. First of all trimmed it down to about, I think it's about 11 inches square, and then I cut down all of the lines and then I distressed them all and then I stuck them all back together. And this is, I went along the lines of the waves of the pool, which it just looks really cool the way it's all, you know, cut apart and then put back together. Distress the edges of each layer and then stuck them down. I only applied tape in the middle of each strip, there's no foam pads or anything, but the edges all curl up, and I've I've helped them along the way to curl up a bit by distressing them and rolling them a bit. So lots of great texture in the background of the layout. And I'd already picked out 3 tags from the tags paper, and I've got my 2 photos sorted as well. So now I'm just going through and figuring out what I'm going to do with the rest of this layout. I had an idea that I could put all of the titles, not all of them, but a lot of titles from the foam stickers onto the right hand side of the page, but I was stacking them all up and I thought it then looked a bit too busy, so they all come off again. But I'm a real sucker for the foam titles. I love them. I think they look brilliant. I always enjoy using them. So the struggle is real because I just want to use all of them. So what I decided to do in the end is just have a really big stack on the left hand side of the layout. So I've got my 2 photos and the tags behind them, and then I'm going to add lots of embellishments down the left side as well, with just the So Cool title on the right hand side of the layout. And you can see that I've really got a very blue layout in the background, obviously because of the paper, and I've picked out the tags that are blues and greens, and I've got that that fun retro sign, that's a sticker from the 12 by 12 sticker sheet. I've got that in place. I've pulled out the sunglasses from the ephemera, I think it's the journal bits, and this way to fun arrow at the top there. Yeah, I'm just going to continue to kind of layer things up, and pulled out as many blue pieces as I could. I didn't want to bring in too many other colours, but I didn't want to keep it all completely monochrome either, so I wanted splashes of colour here and there, but I wanted it all to kind of, the colours to be close together on the colour wheel, so blues and greens, as opposed to bringing in pinks and yellows as well, blues, greens and yellows, but not too much pink is what I was trying to avoid, or any colours from the other side of the colour wheel. The fun sticker is my only splash of colour really on this layout. Everything else is those same colours, blues, greens and yellows, but it's only the F in that sign that's the wrong colour, and a little bit in the beach ball too. So it all works, and it's okay to have a little splash of colour. I don't hold myself to the rules, even though I was aiming for roughly monochrome or close together colours on the colour wheel. I'm not going to hold myself to that and not use anything else. Yeah, I'm not overly strict on things like that. Okay, so you can see that I'm continuing to add lots of bits. You can see that my big giant cluster on the left hand side is all coming together quite nicely. I've added the little sunscreen sticker. I've got the cassette tape down the bottom. I've added the word poolside at the bottom. These photos are taken at a water park in the pools there, so we weren't on the beach or anything. It's all in the pool, so this collection was kind of perfect. Yeah, and I'm just distressing the edges of most of the things that I stick down, so whether they're stickers or ephemera, I tend to distress the edges even of stickers, and I also tend to raise everything up on foam pads, stickers or not. So I have done that. I've also cut a hole in the top of each of the 3 tags that I've got on the page, and I need to put some thread or something in those. Now I'm filming this whilst away, so I don't have any threads with me, or twines, but I had 3 embroidery threads, so I was just hoping that I had the right colour that would work. And yes, I went for a navy. So even though I haven't got any other navy on this page, it's a blue tone, right? So I kind of figured that it went. So you can see now I've put my little navy loops into each of those tags. I just didn't want them to be completely plain tags. So I wanted to put something in there, but I was very limited on my choices. So you can see that everything is now stuck down, stuck in place. I've put the threads in the tags, and now I'm just moving on, adding in some of the decorative brads. I always enjoy using the decorative brads. They bring a completely different texture to the layout. Also they're circles, and I've got lots of circles going on this layout as well. Yeah, all coming together nicely. I've added those in, and I'm now just going to finish off with some splatters of white paint that I'm pretty much going to add all over the left hand side of the layout. Probably nothing on the right, but mostly on the left side. I'm trying to avoid my photos, of course. I'm again limited on the paintbrushes that I have, and some of them weren't the best in terms of adding splatters. Anyway, I figured it out, and I found one that is quite good, so but not this one that I'm using right now. So yeah, that is pretty much all done. I'm going to write my journaling, just a couple of lines of journaling underneath my so-called title. Now, I should have written that before I paint splattered. Again, you would think I would be good enough at this by now to remember to do my journaling before I add splatters, because otherwise you smudge all your paint splatters, or at least get it all over you when you're writing. But it happens, I do it all the time. One of those things. So there we go, that is the layout completely finished. Do check out the Retro Summer collection. It is shipping now, maybe even arrived by the time this video goes live. Yeah, it's great fun, really, really good fun. So good for pool and holiday snaps. Okay, thank you so much for joining me today. That was Nikki Rowland using Retro Summer for Simple Stories.